So welcome back folks to another episode of MLM from Ruined to Refreshed, and I'm going to be setting myself a bit of a challenge, and I'm going to be calling it MLM The Challenge 1 to 4. So in the next 4 episodes of Ruined to Refreshed, I'm going to do 1, then I'm going to do 2, then I'm going to do 3, and then I'm going to do 4. So we've got a little MGA, a couple of Jags, 3 Land Rover Safaris, and then we've got the Matchbox MG 1100. I've had to send off for a few parts. I need to get a couple of wheels. I need to get a set of 4 wheels for the Jag. Need to get some replacement luggage racks for the Landers, and I've got to get 2 interior windscreens for the 1100s. So we'll start with the little MGA, and then we'll work through it episode by episode. So meet me back at the desk with the MGA, and I'll catch you in a few. Cheers. So welcome back folks to episode 1 of this 4-part epic where we're going to do our first vehicle. And it is the MGA sports car made in England by Lesney, and I'm sure there's a number on there but I can't read it. Number 19 I believe. Fairly plain straightforward model. We've got crimped axles, 2 pins or 2 posts, and that's all there is to it. So let's get it disassembled and see what we've got inside. There we go. So it looks like that this guy is fixed in the little post through to the base. Hopefully, he just pulls out, so that's good news. The next thing we'll do is we'll grind off the ends of these axles. We're going to replace them with new ones. So we'll get that done next. So I'll be back in a few. Cheers. So here we go. We're just going to take the ends off these axles and remove these wheels. Oh, there we go. proved a little bit more troublesome than I was hoping, but they're off now. These will be painted and cleaned up anyway, so not a problem there. The body and the chassis, as always, will go into caustic soda along with our little chap, and we'll be replacing the axles with some new ones. So next time we catch you, we'll be in the lab. So I'll see you soon. Cheers. So welcome back to the lab, folks, and here we are with our parts, and we're wearing our PPE as always. Drop our parts into our caustic soda jar, add our boiling water, and of course our magic ingredient. And we'll give that our mandatory 30 minutes, come back and check, and then I'll meet you back at the bench. Cheers. So welcome back, folks, and we've got our parts back from the caustic soda treatment, and they've come back nice and clean. Happy with that result. So we're going to take the Dremel, put a wire brush attachment in, and give it a bit of a clean up. So let's see what results we get from this. So there we go. That has come up really nice, and you may or may not be able to make out, we've actually got some markings on the dashboard that I didn't even know were there. It looks like we've got some gauges, we've got a glove compartment, we've got the MG badge on the boot, we've got a little MG badge on the front above the grille. All lost under paint, but there you go. So I'm gonna get the inside done and the chassis, and then it'll be off to the paint shop for priming and top coating. So I'll catch you in a few. Cheers. Okay, welcome back, folks, and you join me as I've just remembered that I needed to drill and tap the body before we went into the workshop and primed our little MGA here. So as you can see, I've done one, so I'll just show you how I did the other one. So I've marked off the drill to a depth that I'm safe to go to, and we'll just take it gently. So what's happened in this scenario, although I haven't gone through the bonnet, the original stud that was put into the post hole went in only quite shallow, and as soon as I started to, not long after starting to drill it, the drill went through very easily. So you've just got to take your time. It's all right going hell for leather and drilling on a fast speed, but you lose that control. So just a word of caution there. And with the back post, it's a lot shallower than the front post, so you just need to make sure you only go to the depth that you need to get your bolt in. and with the tap, just a few turns, retract the tap, go in again, and just work the thread gently. But that'll be fine. So there you go, drilling and tapping the post holes. So I'll catch you in the workshop. Cheers. Okay, welcome back to another build update, and our parts are back from the workshop. You may have noticed in the video that I only primed one side of the wheels. I did go back and turn them around and do the other side, and what I've done is I've left them primed, let them dry, and then give them a clear coat lacquer, and I think they're quite in keeping with how they were originally on the model. The body and the chassis are done, and that just leaves our little figure, our little driver. And what I'm going to be using is some number 88 ochre brown matte. Fortunately, there's not a lot left in there, so knocking it over wasn't too bad. I want to try and keep the whole model pretty much in keeping with how it was. There we go. I'm going to give this little guy a couple of coats, so we'll let him dry for a bit. Just a quick tip, what I'm using here is a kebab stick, and these crocodile clips you can pick up from DIY stores. I've got several of these, and they're just handy for doing this kind of detailed job. We could go into detail with the little figure, but I want to try and keep this one pretty much as it was. I will eventually, once it's dried, after a couple of coats, give it a coat of clear lacquer. Same with the body and the chassis once they've dried. But the next thing we're going to be looking at are the axles and the wheels and getting them reattached. So I'll catch you in the next build update. Cheers. So welcome back folks, and you find us making some new axles for our little MGA, and all I'm using is some pot rivet shafts. Obviously I've removed the head, but we just need to grind these fins flat so that the wheel will fit. And there we go, some nice new wheel hubs. Okay, so part 2 of this is to get our model, feed the new axle through, and then we'll cut off and crimp the end. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove it from the body first. And what we'll do is we'll just change the accessory on the Dremel. So I'll be back in a mo. So we just give ourselves enough room, and use the Dremel to cut it to length. And there we go. So the last thing to do is to get a pair of pliers and just crimp these ends, and that with the base done. So let's get a pair of pliers. And there we go. So all we need to do now is to reassemble. Screw our chassis back on. go. So I'm just going to drop a bit of super glue onto the seat to hold the driver in place, and that will be this model almost completed. So we'll get a bit of super glue. And drop our driver back in place. And there he goes. So just a few highlights to add to this thing, folks, and we'll put it on the turntable, and I'll catch you in the next part. Cheers. So here we are then, folks, with the reveal of our MGA. Episode 1 of our 4 to 1 or 1 to 4 challenge, should I say. In the next episode we'll be doing 2 D-type Jags, so join us for that. On this one, all we've had to do, it's quite a simple model, separate the body from the chassis, respray it, update the axles, repaint the wheels and the driver. So quite a simple little build, a fun little build, another starter build if you like. So if you're just taking up the hobby, an ideal little vehicle to be having a go at. So as always, thanks to everybody who supports us on the MLM community Facebook page and those that have subscribed to the MLM YouTube channel. And I'll catch you in the next episode, episode 2 of MLM The Challenge from 1 to 4. Cheers.